Hello, so in today's video I would like to talk about porosity of your hair. So there are three different porosity hair types. There is low porosity, medium porosity, and high porosity. So I'm going to explain what the different types of porosity are, and then I'm going to show you some different methods that you can use to find out what type of porosity your hair is. So porosity refers to how well your hair is able to absorb and hold moisture, and it's affected by the flexible outer hair layer, which is called the cuticle. And the cuticle determines how easy that moisture and oils can actually absorb into your hair. So first I'm going to start off with low porosity. So there are different characteristics of each type. With low porosity hair, it's tightly bound cuticles with overlapping sections that lie flat. It tends to be very healthy hair. It's often very shiny. However, low porosity hair will repel moisture. And water tends to bead up in the hair, so therefore your hair will take a very long time to dry. And again, low porosity hair will look healthy, but it doesn't have as much elasticity or volume as normal porosity hair would have. Next are the characteristics of high porosity. So high porosity hair tends to absorb too much moisture, and it tends to look and feel dull or dry. And it's generally damaged or over-processed, whether that's through heat damage, dye, or just environmental factors. It tends to tangle very easy because the cuticles get caught on each other. It tends to dry very quick, and it tends to be frizzy. Normal porosity hair, although it's called normal porosity, it's the rarest type. Most people are either low or high. So with normal porosity hair, it absorbs the perfect amount of moisture and it's able to retain the moisture. It tends to be shiny, healthy, and just has lots of volume. And it neither takes too long or too quick to dry. Now my hair tends to bounce back between low and normal. I've never had high porosity hair. Most hair models have low to normal porosity. Normal porosity is one of the most rarest porosities. Most people tend to have high or low. High porosity hair is very common because a lot of people will damage their hair. So now I'm going to show you three different tests that you can do to determine your own hair porosity. So the most common one is the water test. In the water test, you want to wait a good 3 to 5 minutes. So we'll do the water test first and we will check back with the results while we're doing the other tests. So you want to gather some strands of hair, and some of the best way to do that is to brush your hair because you'll get loose strands while you're brushing. And clean hair works best because if you have oil or if you just used a treatment, that can alter. So this is a nice long, well, it's not the longest hair, but it's a nice hair that can give us a good indicator. So you want to get a bowl or water, and you're going to put the hair in the water. So if you can see, my hair is floating. I'm going to grab another hair and I will explain the results. This looks like a good one. This one's pretty long. So my hair is floating currently, and what that means generally, if your hair keeps floating, it is low porosity. If your hair sinks right away, that's a good indicator that it's high porosity. And if over time, if my hair slowly starts to sink, after I show you the other test within a few minutes, then that's an indicator that it's normal porosity. So right now it is still floating. So the next way to tell your porosity type is to grab some hair, like a strand, and you're just gonna slide your fingers through. So I'll try and show you up close. See how mine is super smooth? I don't feel any bumps. So if it's super smooth all the way down, you have low porosity hair. If it's very bumpy while you're doing it, it's high porosity. If it's smooth and there's a couple of bumps, then it's most likely normal porosity. Another one is the water bottle or spray test. So what you want to do, you want to make sure your hair is dry. Just grab a small section of hair and you're going to put some water on it. See how mine beads up? Like there's little bubbles. If you see bubbles or beads and it's not drying, that typically means it's low porosity. If your hair absorbs that water right away and it dries very quickly, then you most likely have high porosity hair. Okay, so let's check on the water and see what my hair did. All right, well my hair is still floating. So we are going to go with my hair is low porosity right now. And as I was saying, my hair tends to go back and forth between low and normal. A lot of times hair porosity can be genetic. There are some people that are just born with low porosity hair or high porosity hair, normal. And then your hair can change based on your environment, based on how you're taking care of your hair. So I'd like to go over how do you care for different types of porosity. Right, now that you know what your hair type is, how do you care for it? So with low porosity hair, heat is actually your friend. So that doesn't mean straighten your hair or curl your hair. What I mean by heat is you can warm up your conditioners. You can put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, or I'm sorry, for about 10 to 20 seconds. Or if you don't have a microwave, you can heat up your conditioner in the oven for a few minutes. So what the heat will do is it opens the cuticle. Now a lot of times I like to rinse my hair with cool water because it creates a nice shine, but I alter between warm and cool. Because when you use warm water, that's going to open up the cuticle. So it's good to use warm water on your ends when you're rinsing out the conditioner, because that's going to absorb the steam. It's going to absorb what's in your hair and it's going to add more moisture to your hair. Now another way you can do is you can put your towel in the dryer, or you can, if you have a towel dryer, you can use that. And that way when you get out of the shower, you put the warm towel and that heat from the towel will help your hair absorb any moisture that you used while washing. Another good tip for low porosity hair is you want to use light oils. So some of my favorite are jojoba, argan, and grapeseed. You tend to want to stay away from heavier oils like coconut oil and just too heavy conditioners. You also want to be careful of protein. Now I mentioned that my hair tends to like a little bit of protein, but you don't want to go too heavy on protein. You want to stay away from protein-rich deep conditioning treatments and egg treatments. Another thing about low porosity hair is it tends to build up products very easy. So you want to get a good clarifying shampoo. Sulfate-free and silicone-free, all natural works best because cones and sulfates will tend to build up in your hair. And you want to do apple cider vinegar rinses frequently because that's going to just help purify and clarify your hair. And another thing for heat is you can use the blow dryer every so often too, because low porosity hair tends to be very healthy hair. A little heat is okay. But when you do use the blow dryer, you don't want to put it on the highest heat. Just because you can use heat doesn't mean go high. You want to do medium to cool heat, and just for a little bit. And again, that's just going to help open up the cuticle and allow the moisture to get in. Now, caring for high porosity hair is much, much different. With high porosity hair, you want to think protein-rich, deep conditioning treatments. You want to do egg masks, anything with mayonnaise, eggs, protein treatments. It likes heavy oils. Coconut oil is really good. Aloe vera gel is really good. You want to stay away from heat, so you want to use cool water, because the cool water is going to close those pores, it's going to close those cuticles. You want to stay away from blow dryers, you want to stay away from straighteners, curling iron, because that's only going to damage your hair and make it more porous, because high porosity hair is very much like a sponge. And next is normal porosity. So for normal porosity, you are the luckiest hair type. And when my hair is normal porosity, it is such a breeze. So with normal porosity, you just want to keep doing what you're doing. You know, use a shampoo, conditioner that has a little bit of protein, a little bit of moisture. You know, you don't want to go crazy on heat, but you can use the blow dryer. You can use a heated towel. And with normal porosity hair, you generally have very healthy hair. As I was saying, most models, their hair is either normal or low, and both types are very, very healthy. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, with low porosity hair, it tends to reject chemicals or color. So if you were to try and dye your hair and it was low porosity, it would reject it because it's so healthy. With high porosity hair, it tends to grab colors very easy, but it's kind of a catch-22, because if you're already coloring your hair and damaging it, it just gets more and more damaged. So hair can become high porosity over time if you dye it too much, if you use too much heat. However, you can get your hair back to normal porosity with some care and love. And if it's low porosity forever, it's nothing to worry about. Low porosity hair is very healthy, and you just got to use lighter products and know when to clarify. And if you have normal porosity hair, just keep on doing what you're doing, because you are doing a great job. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to identify what type your hair is and what kind of treatments that your hair needs to keep optimal, healthy, shiny, and happy hair.